In this video, I will show how to find the domain and range of a exponential function and how to find its inverse, and then how to find the domain and range of its inverse. So to answer the question in part A, we have to recall that exponentiation doesn't have any constraints, therefore the domain of any exponential function is all real numbers. Now to find the range, we have to recall that exponential function has a horizontal asymptote as x gets infinitely small, the function approaches to 0. Now, when you apply linear transformations to the graph of a function, vertical transformations affect the horizontal asymptote. In this case, the range before any transformation is applied is from 0 to infinity. After you bring the entire graph down by 3 units, the range also goes down by 3 units, so the range of this function is from -3 to infinity. That means we can immediately answer the question in part C. So the domain of the inverse function is the same as the range of the original function, and the range of the inverse function is the same as the domain of the original function. But to confirm that, we can do the part B and find the actual inverse function. So to find the inverse function, we're just going to follow the standard procedure. That means we're going to switch x and y and then solve for y. So in other words, we're going to solve this equation for y. So let's start. We have x equals e to the power y plus 2 minus 3, and the goal is to isolate y. So let's add 3 to both sides. Let's change the form of this equation from exponential to logarithmic. That means y plus 2 is equal to ln of x plus 3. And now we're almost there. We just have to subtract 2 from both sides. And there we go, we isolated y, so the inverse function is given by this expression on the right hand side. And by looking at it, we can confirm that domain of this function is indeed all the values greater than 3, because what's inside of the logarithm cannot be less than or equal to 0. And the range of this function is all real numbers, because logarithm function goes all the way from -infinity to infinity. So this is how we work with exponential function and its inverse.